Good evening. I'm Mayor Mark Northrup. I'd like to call to order the Hudsonville City Commission for August 10th, 2021. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Bullheis?
Here.
Branson?
Here.
DeVray?
Here.
Larar?
Here.
Redrink?
Here.
Steginga?
Here.
Mayor Northrup?
Here. Before we go to public comments, Commissioner Greg Steginga will be leading us in a moment of silence. Greg?
Join me with prayer, please. Dear God, we ask for your wisdom as we make decisions in this meeting. Help us to carefully consider the relevant information that has been gathered and help us to be unified in making the best possible decisions and to effectively carry them out. Amen.
Thank you, Greg. First item up is public comments. If there's anybody from the public that chooses to address the commission for items not on the agenda, you're welcome to attend to the podium and announce your name and your address. Hearing and seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda items. There are 5. Minutes from the City Commission regular session dated July 13th, minutes of the Terrace Square Advisory Board July 14th, minutes of the Board Review meeting dated July 20th, minutes of the Library Advisory Board dated July 20th, and minutes of the Planning Commission regular session dated July 21st. Are there any changes to those minutes? Hearing none, I will call for a voice. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda items, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Consent agenda items carries. First item of business is a public hearing. I would like to open the public hearing on the Industrial Development District for West Michigan beef. At this time, the public hearing is open. Is there somebody from the public that chooses to address the commission? Hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 21-1728, establishing an industrial development district requested by West Michigan Beef, LLC, for 3007 Van Buren Street, parcel number 7014-21314.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Thank you, gentlemen. Tobin, you spoke rather extensively on this at the last commission meeting. Is there anything that to provide updates?
No, nothing new to add to what we talked about last month.
Then I believe there's somebody in the audience that's available to speak to us if she chooses. You're welcome.
Good evening. I'm Mandy Cooper. My address is 50 West Central Ave, Zeeland, Michigan, and I'm here on behalf of Lakeshore Advantage. We're the economic development partner to the city of Hudsonville and Ottawa County, and we're just here to show our support for the potential project.
Thank you, Amanda. Any questions or discussions from the commission on the public hearing on the motion to approve the West Michigan Beef Industrial Development District? Hearing none, City Clerk, call the roll.
I did not get the second.
Oh.
Greg.
Gotcha. That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure, though. All right. So, Commissioner DeVray.
Yes.
Steginga.
Yes.
Bullheis.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes.
Larar.
Yes.
Redrink.
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Yes, the motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to new business, public safety. July public safety statistical reports. Chief Moore for the fire department, please.
Well, good evening, everyone. Okay,
You have my report in front of you, and really nothing too earth-shattering that went on. It was a pretty normal month. Total calls were catching up to 2019, which was one of our biggest years we ever had, so we're getting close to that again. And we only see that to continue to rise because of more development, more people, and elderly, obviously, so that's going to continue to go up. So, any questions at all about the written report or the statistical report?
Commissioners, Chief, I believe we had a dumpster fire at Terrace Square. Were you involved in that at all?
Mm-hmm. We kind of put it out, yeah.
We kind of put it.
Somebody used an extinguisher from the building, so
Okay.
it was kind of half out by the time we got there, yeah.
Was that kind of a first for us, a dumpster fire in town for a?
Oh, no, we've had dumpster fires before, yeah, trash fires and so forth, yeah.
Did we identify the cause, or?
Yes, we did, yeah. We got it on video, in fact. There was a camera back there, so with the help of Sergeant Steckinga, and we looked through the video, and we got the culprit, and we know exactly what happened, so.
Good. So we'll recoup our damages, I assume.
Yeah, I think I turned in a cost recovery on our part, so I think that's going to go in, right?
Right. Very good. Any other questions for the chief from the commission? Hearing none, thank you, Chief.
Yep.
Chief, we're going to be going to closed session at the end of our meeting. If you could just make sure you hang around, because there may be some questions for the fire chief out of the closed session. So if you just make yourself available while we're behind doors.
Okay, we'll do.
Moving on to the Sheriff's Department. Sergeant?
Well, the air feels a little bit better today than the last meeting. It's hot out, so I'm glad we're all here and cool. It's great to have wool pants and a bulletproof vest on tonight, let me tell you, so it's fantastic. The month of July was a good month. Traffic was up, traffic contacts were up. I'm proud of the guys that did a great job. I received our shipment of our speed signs. I'm meeting with DPW tomorrow to try to affect the best way for us to mount them. So that's the project tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So then we're going to see about getting them in place this year for at least a couple months before winter really hits. Otherwise, we're doing great. Like a lot of the stuff that continues to go around this country, I just appreciate the support. It's very evident in this community and from the commission too, so I appreciate that. And that's all I have for you.
Is it just my personal observation, but it seems like the traffic and the speed on 32nd has been much higher?
It's been the same for a long time. We need a road diet.
I'll share that with our Georgetown residents.
It's fine with me.
Any questions for the sergeant from the commission? Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Dave, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Emergency Management Department?
Yeah, I trust that JJ represented us well last month. Try to make sure that he gets in front of you at least once a month, just so you know who in the world he is. And our report is nothing eventful. There's kind of some normal things. I want to add my comment on the department staff meeting there, where I forwarded improvement ideas over for the car show. And she was actually very receptive. We had a good email exchange back and forth. Both shared ideas on how we'll actually plan it better next year. The car show was, it was a success, but there was a lot of traffic and sooner than what we had anticipated. By the time we got there, a lot of the traffic was already there. So, and people were wandering back and forth in Cherry Street like it was a sidewalk. So it was a challenge, and we've got some great ideas on what to do next year. The other comment I want to make is you see two Grand Haven events on there. I just want to reiterate that we do those partly to gain experience. Right? They have some different traffic patterns and different scenarios than we do, so we've actually learned a lot up there that we've been able to apply here. Our fair traffic plan, for example, is better because of stuff we've learned up there. So that's one of the reasons we go up there just as volunteers. Well, that and we kind of like doing this for some reason. So. Any questions or comments?
Are we all set for the fair with that new parking lot they have this year too on the west side?
Yes, I met with the fair, part of the fair board, a few weeks ago. We talked through that and actually took me for a drive around their new lot. And then our last department meeting here in August, we actually had our department meeting out at the fairgrounds. And a couple people from the fair stopped in and answered questions. We've got a good traffic plan in place. That new lot actually doesn't really throw us much of a curve because of how they're going to use it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any questions for Dave from the commission? Thank you, Dave. Keep up the good work. Moving on to city treasurer's monthly reports, finances. Kayla, nice to see you up here.
Yeah. Good evening. I just want to start with saying that the numbers on the report are preliminary for June since we are still working on wrapping up the year and getting ready for the audit. So I still wanted to come up with some numbers, but there will be some slight changes to this. So on the general fund summary, very good news. We're at 104.7% of our budgeted revenues. So it's always good when we get more money than we budgeted for. And expenditures were at 90.9%. We still have a few more check runs that will be posted to June, so that will keep going up. On our revenue summary, we brought in $417,502 for the month of June, bringing our revenue to date to $4,392,436, which is $190,000 more than the prior year. Expenditure summary, for June, we so far have expensed $456,528. Again, that's anticipated to go up once we pay some more bills. And that brings our expenditure to date to $3,897,190. Any questions on the revenue and expense reports for June?
So Kayla, as I read this, our revenue compared to 2020 is $500,000 more, or roughly 12% higher than the previous year.
Right now, the revenues are $190,000 more.
I'm looking at the general fund summary.
That's what you had on the screen.
So that's just current revenues and then current expenditures. So the one that will compare it will be the next.
That's
this
190.
one.
That's 190.
Correct.
190,000.
Correct.
Can the news get any better?
Not right now.
And any update on the,
ARPA funds?
yeah,
I knew you guys were going to ask. The state actually sent out an email today giving us an update. We expected the money at the end of June, but I think they took on more than they anticipated. So right now, our application is accepted but not approved. A lot of communities are at that point right now. They're anticipating payments going out until September.
and how much will,
We're at $760,000.
so how does it fall into our,
It'd be considered revenue in next fiscal year, and we'll only get half of it. And then a year later, we'll get the other half.
so we'll see a huge bump on our graph.
We'll see it, yep. Of course, we'll have to determine how the city wants to use the fund and how best to allocate that money. But yeah, we're anticipating and getting at least half of it in September.
And I'm sure Terrace Square is going to take a,
Revenue loss is probably going to be something we're going to look at considerably, yes.
any other questions for Kayla on budget and expenses? You want to do the investment report?
Yeah, I'll move on to the investment report now. So again, with this one, pretty good news. For the month of June, we brought in $2,760 of investment revenue. Our average rate of return was 1.43, and then that brings our year-to-date at $180,392.78. So pretty good in investment revenue there. Questions on that report?
Commissioners? Hearing none, thank you, City Treasurer. We'll move on to payment of the bills. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to confirm the payment of the bills in the amount of $540,931.45, and to confirm payment of the bills paid between meetings and reviewed by the Finance Committee.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Roll call, please, City Clerk.
Commissioner Branson?
Yes.
DeVray?
Yes.
Bullheis?
Yes.
Larrar?
Yes.
Ruderick?
Yes.
Steigenga?
Yes.
Mayor Northrop?
Yes, pay the bills. Moving on to ACH Funds Distribution. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to confirm the funds distributed via automated clearinghouse in the amount of $2,723,849.75, which were distributed between meetings and reviewed by the city manager.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions for the treasurer on the ACH funds? It's a huge amount.
Yeah, it's a big amount. It's the first batch of tax distributions that we make to the county, the schools, and the ISD. So out of that total, $2,625,203 were just property tax disbursements.
Any questions for the treasurer? Hearing none, roll call, please, City Clerk.
Commissioner Branson?
Yes.
DeVray?
Yes.
Bullheis?
Yes.
Larrar?
Yes.
Ruderick?
Yes.
Steigenga?
Yes.
Mayor Northrop?
Yes, make the ACH funds distribution, please. Moving on to administration, item number 13, Wyoming Water System 2021 Water System Improvements Bond Issue and Refunding. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve resolution number 21-1729, approving and authorizing the issuance of a refunding bond, the execution of a 2021 water supply system improvements contract, and the publication of the notice of adoption of the resolution in connection with the issuance of bonds by the County of Ottawa pursuant to Act 342 of the Public Acts of Michigan of 1939, as amended, and other matters related thereto.
Supported.
It's been moved and supported. We have a speaker here from the Ottawa County Road Commission, Patrick Staskowitz.
Hi, I'm Pat Staskowitz with the Ottawa County Road
Staskowitz,
Commission.
yes. And Pat, you've been here before?
Yes.
And the podium is yours.
Thank you. I'll just give you a quick rundown of what this project involves. I'm here representing the 9 municipalities in Ottawa County that are served by the Wyoming Ottawa County water system. And as part of that system, small and medium infrastructure is paid through the rates, but when we have larger infrastructure, we sell bonds. And so we have a project in front of us. Do you remember last year when we had some sprinkling restrictions? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but a pipe broke in front of the plant. There was a temporary repair done on that, and so part of this project, the yard pipe project, would repair that for good, and it'll set up some valving for the next phase, which is the 3rd transmission main. We plan on starting that sometime next fiscal year. So this project was a little bit advanced of that other project, but we're reacting to the pipeline break. And then the second item I have in front of you is a refunding. That was more a matter of opportunity. In 2009, we had a bond issue, and there was about $1.69 million remaining on that. The interest rate was about 4.76%, and we can refund that for an estimated 1.16%, saving $213,000. So items 1 through 4 in the resolution will approve the refunding, and items 5 through 12 would give authorization for the new money for the project in front of the plant. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I'm just stunned on the amount of water usage that we have, and how blessed we are to have a pipeline to the Great Lake, Michigan. One of the questions I have is, has there been any pushback from any municipality on this upgrade?
No, there hasn't.
And the other question I have is, what do you foresee the impact to water rates or any millage?
These increase in debt fees will be covered in the rates. I estimated about 4 cents increase, or about 3%. That was when I prepared all the documents. However, I've looked at the numbers with the refunding and some new projections, and there may not be much of an increase at all. Just depends on how much water we sell, and we've been selling a lot these days.
Any questions from the commission? Discussion?
When you do this, can you send, it'd be interesting to see this for people, and it may be good to put in like our newsletter and like, send pictures to Bob or Patrick. It'd be interesting so people see where their money's going.
Sure. We,
Especially if you have a 54-inch ball valve.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah, they're pretty expensive too.
Yeah.
We have a drone that, at the road commission, we took some overhead photos last year when the pipe was being repaired, and those were pretty interesting, so I'll share that with the group.
When do you think the work will be commenced?
In the fall.
In the fall.
When the season, the sprinkling season commences, probably sometime in September, October. So all the valves have been procured, a contractor has been selected, and everything's ready to go. We're just waiting for financing and the window of opportunity.
Any disruption to service?
No, that's why we're doing it this time of the year. So we'll continue sending all the water down the 42-inch pipeline. That was a bit of a challenge last summer. That's why we had the sprinkling restrictions and use restrictions.
So the majority of the cost is in the valves in the yard, or because there isn't much pipe that gets put in?
There's quite a bit of cost in the valves. That's true. We are putting in, a fair amount of pipe, but most of that is in the valves. We have a $2 million dehumidification system in the basement of the plant we're replacing as well. So it all adds up.
Well, Pat, I just want to say thank you for our great water here. We just take it for granted. But you read about the stuff going on out west, and you realize really how blessed we are as a community to have people like you taking care of us and getting us fresh, potable water day in and day out, all we can manage. So thank you.
Well, you're most welcome.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, thank you, Pat.
Thank
There's a
you.
motion that's been put on the floor. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please, City Clerk.
Commissioner Larrar,
Yes.
Redrink,
Yes.
Bullheis,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
DeBrey,
Yes.
Steigenga,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Yes. Moving on to the Michigan Municipal League Voting Delegate Nominations, item number 14. This is occurring in Grand Rapids, September 22nd to the 24th. Who on the commission intends to attend the MML conference?
Will be live or virtual?
No, this is live. This is in Grand Rapids. Has
I'm
anybody
moving
applied?
towards- Yeah. I'm-
You plan to
I might
attend?
Be able to. I'd like to if I'm available, yeah.
Oh, but I think you went last year, the year.
Virtually.
Virtually.
Patrick said he was going to go too.
Okay. Greg,
I'm planning on.
you planning on going?
Some of it, yes.
Any desire for you, Greg, to be the representative?
I skipped over all these other guys.
Well, you're a little slow there, Tobin. You know me.
That's fine.
So you are okay to be the appointed representative, and we need an alternate, Tobin or Larry?
Someone's probably, I'm not absolutely sure yet at this point, but
Are you for sure going to go?
There's a couple football games for my son, but, I don't see why we couldn't
Phil?
figure that out.
I can't go.
I can figure it out.
I plan on going to some, but
It's an alternate.
It's an alternate,
I can be your alternate.
Okay, thank you.
Gotcha, Dan.
So now, can I have a
You want a
motion?
motion?
Can I have the motion, please, for these two commissioners?
Motion to approve Greg Steginga as representative and Tobin DeVray as alternate representative at the annual business meeting of the MML Annual Convention.
Second motion.
It's been moved and supported. Any pushback from the two appointed commissioners? Don't look at me that way, Tobin.
None further. I've said all I need to say.
Roll call, please, City Clerk.
Commissioner Larrar,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Volheis,
Yes.
DeVray,
Yes.
Redrink,
Yes.
Steginga.
No, I mean, yes.
All the watermelon you can eat.
Mayor Northrop.
Thank you, Commissioners and City Clerk. Moving on to item number 16, Hudsonville Gateway Sign Maintenance Agreement with Mdot. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to authorize resolution number 21-1732, accepting a contract number 21-5341 between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Hudsonville for the purpose of fixing the rights and obligations of the Part 101S and agreeing to the maintenance and operation of a vinyl decal gateway sign installed by the city, subject to minor modifications by the city attorney.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. I would like to note one item of detail in that color photo on the memo. It shows it as a green sign. We are not Jennison, we are Hudsonville. The color of that sign will be blue. So that there's any discussion about that, that is not the true color. The school superintendent has discussed this with me numerous times, and I've had to reassure him numerous times, so please.
Green has historically been related to the city, correct? I mean, where do we start and stop? I'm okay with green, that's what I'm saying.
Just, I was too, but you know what? It wasn't worth, it can be any color we choose.
Okay.
It's blue. There's a little maze above it with the height sign, so I think you should have a picture of Patrick in front of it when it's done.
I'll be sure to pass that along to him, City Clerk. Would you make sure that's in the minutes?
He's not here to defend it, so.
I agree with Tobin, I was green. Put a little Spartan emblem there.
Mark, for me, it's more of a, it's a branding issue, right?
Yes.
So, historically, green has been City of Hudsonville, so if we're moving away from that from a marketing campaign, then I'm fine with that. But is that what we're doing, or is this just a?
That marketing decal, the motif can either be blue or green or any color.
It can be, but it also represents the city branding.
Could be this darker green.
Well, I think that you probably should take this up with
I'm just raising
our
the
marketing
point.
director, because this has been
I'm just raising the point. Whatever happens, happens.
you know, I'm not falling on my sword in this one. It
All right.
was,
We'll make sure we're
other than the
consistent.
school superintendent was pretty adamant,
Well,
because he has to hear it from a lot of parents. Anyway, we're not voting on the color here. We're nearly voting on the decal approval. Any other discussion? Yes.
Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to add quick to this. I think Patrick drafted this memo on Friday, and at the time it had not yet been reviewed by city attorney. I talked to Miss Jessica Wood this afternoon, and she had a couple very simple recommendations, nothing really consequential, but she did ask that I request this agreement be, adopted pending final legal review. I think there's a few typos in there that may mean A or this or that, or she's looking for an exception for simple maintenance agreements like that. The agreement that was attached in the packet, requests the city get a permit to do simple maintenance type things like that, and she's just looking for some very simple changes to it, I believe. But as you probably tell if you read the agreement, it's a very boilerplate agreement from Mdot, so there probably would be expected that there might be something that's more specific to our application here. But she said, by all means, please suggest to them that they adopt the agreement. But Just maybe a couple final tweaks to be done yet by the attorney.
Then we need to amend the motion.
Yeah, with this one.
Huh?
With this one.
Is that the one you read?
Yeah, you read this one, right?
Yes, I read the
You
new
read this
motion.
one.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did read the new one, so
Okay.
that is accurate.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything
So
else?
it's got the blip in there about the attorney, so that's good.
Okay. So we have the right motion on the floor.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please, City Clerk.
Commissioner Rederink,
Yes,
Larrar,
Yes.
Volheis,
Yes.
Franson,
Yes.
DeVray,
Yes.
Steigenga,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Phil, for leading us on that motion. Moving on to the Department of Public Works. Don't go far, Bob. Request a motion on the antenna lease agreement with Hudsonville Public Schools as amendment. Is there a motion?
Motion to authorize resolution number 21-1731, approving and authorizing execution of the attached amended water tower lease agreement between Hudsonville Public Schools and the City of Hudsonville.
Second motion?
It's been moved and supported. We're not going to paint the color of the water tower blue or green, are we?
I'll stay out of that.
We discussed this at length last month. Can you want to just give us?
Yeah, my apologies for bringing this back to your packets. Our review, we had an error in the address of the water tower. It was actually caught by the school. The agreement was never fully executed, so we don't need to nullify it. I'm bringing you this one with the correct address in it to pass back on to the school.
How off was the address?
It was the address of the New Holland tank, not the address of the Highland tank.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Larrar,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Volheis,
Yes.
DeVray,
Yes.
Rederink,
yes,
Steigenga,
Yes.
Mayor Northrup.
Yes, thank you, Bob. Motion carries. Moving on to relocation of city-owned home at 5228 32nd Avenue. Is there a motion?
Motion to award contracts per the attached quotations to Rollaway Movers in the amount of $21,800, to Rye Park Homes in the amount of $96,500, to Hoving Concrete in the amount of $19,164, and to Advanced Excavating in the amount of $24,265.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions for Bob? Or Bob, you just want to brief us a little more on the details, or?
Yeah, I just want to say, I'm standing here right now, but obviously this is something Patrick's worked on a lot. We worked on a lot with city engineer Don DeVries. Dan's helping me out a lot back behind me. And I do want to introduce Jeff Grunig from Rye Park Homes is here with us tonight. He's the home builder. The majority of the work will be his. And I think most of you guys have probably discussed this project quite a bit in other settings, but I'm excited for this, really. It's been pretty interesting just getting this far with it, and happy to answer any questions.
What's the timing here, do you know for sure?
The plan still is to have the house, we'll say, saleable this fall. Jeff, back behind me, the home builder, would be the first one in there to start making preps, and he's ready to go. So, he could conceivably be in there tomorrow. A month down the road, we should be ready, if not less, kind of dependent on some subs and everything, but we should be ready to set the home on the new foundation in a month's time or less. There's a few unknowns there as to exactly what we're going to need to do. I don't know if you'd seen in Jeff's quote back there, but there's a couple code concerns, the way the house sits right now, as to how those are going to be addressed and exactly how they're going to have to be brought up to snuff. So I could play with the timeline just a little bit, but for the most part, the bulk of the work, the contractors are ready to go and coordinate with one another. This fall was not an issue for any of them.
So then what would be the time frame for the intersection with the lights?
I can't give you a good answer for that as to the actual relocation of the road. We're pursuing funding for that right now down a few different routes, but I don't know as if I can put a timeline on that as I stand here tonight.
So I assume that would be MDOT would be involved.
Yep, yep.
Do we have to wait till that road's in to put the home for sale, or can we do?
Absolutely not. Nope. The part of this project is going to be a redivision of the land. Or actually, the city owns a strip of property south of that house along Berry Street on the other side of the creek right now. So the lot that the home is sitting on is going to be made obviously smaller because the road right-of-way is going to go over top of it. But we're going to combine the place where the home is going to sit on the north side of the creek with the strip of land on the south side of the creek. So the new lot will actually encompass both sides of the creek down to Berry Street, down to where Berry Street is now, and will later front Berry Street on its front, which will later, I guess, on the south side become Berry Court, possibly.
So where would the driveway end up?
The driveway of the new home, once Berry Street is in, will go out onto Berry, rather than 32nd.
So we'll list the home as soon as it's moved?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Talking to Patrick, he thinks our net loss on this property, once we sell it, will be between $125,000 and $150,000. So we're hoping we can do well, and the house is still structurally in good shape, and we can sell it and turn it pretty fast.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I guess only judging by the buying experience that we had when we went after that home. I mean, everybody knows what happened there. I think it was on the market a day before they said, we're not taking any more offers. We're going to review them at the end of the day tomorrow.
So hopefully our timing's good in this one, and we can recoup quite a bit of our costs on that property.
Sure.
Any other questions for the commission on this property? The relocation? Bob, you did a lot of work on this, carried a lot of water for us, so to speak, so thank you.
No.
Thank you.
And it's nice to see the contractors here. Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion from the commission? Hearing none. Roll call, please, City Clerk.
Commissioner Steginga?
Yes.
Farrar?
Yes.
Bullheis?
Yes.
Branson?
Yes.
DeVray?
Yes.
Redderink?
Yes.
Mayor Northrup?
Yes, the motion carries. Relocation is approved as delivered by Bob. Thank you. Moving on to item number 8, appointments to boards and commission. Is there a motion to approve the mayor's appointment to the Terrace Square Advisory Board?
Motion to approve the mayor's appointments and boards and committees as listed. Ron Foster to become an advisory board member.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. You want to just give us a little bit of an update on this candidate?
Right, we have 7 members on our advisory board, and we try to maintain that. One of the members has decided to step away, if you will, just hasn't been able to attend meetings, and as a result, we've had some discussions with Ron. Ron is an attorney. He's one of our co-workspace rentals at this point, so he's familiar with the building and the operation, and I think he would be a good addition to our advisory board committee. So that's why he was brought forward.
Very good. Thank you, Greg. Any other discussion on this? Hearing none, just for a point of record, I think we still have 3 openings on the DDA that we're seeking candidates for. That was in the recent newsletter. Roll call, please, then. City Clerk.
Commissioner Steginga?
Yes.
DeVray?
Yes.
Bullheis?
Yes.
Branson?
Yes.
Farrar?
Yes.
Redderink?
Yes.
Mayor Northrup?
Yes, motion carries. Moving on to item number 15, the legal discussion on a pending legal action with the city and property owners in the city. I need a motion to go to a closed session. Is there a motion?
So move.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor of going to closed session, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. For a point of record, the city treasurer will be accompanying us in the closed session, along with the city clerk and the planning director, Dan, and the chief. He would stand by in case there's some questions for the fire chief. At this point, we need to move to the conference room for closed session. I'd remind all the attendees that this is confidential, not to be discussed outside of the conference room. The minutes will be maintained by city clerk. They will be sealed and delivered to the city manager at his return for safekeeping if we need those in a further case. So at this point, let's adjourn to the conference room.